One of the worst parts of this coronavirus thing for me is that I'm missing some good concerts. That's why I'm in protest. Haven't cut my hair since it all began and kind of stopped shaving. Yes, I'm looking for that homeless Unabomber look. Anyway, just because we can't go to concerts doesn't mean we can't talk about some of the concerts we've been to. As for me, I'm going to talk about a show I saw way back in June the 29th, 2017. Now, have you ever gone to a show even though you weren't that familiar with the band or the artist? You just heard someone say, "Ooh, they do a killer show, dude." Well, that's what happened to me. 'Cause the German band Rammstein was coming to Dallas. Or is it Rammstein or Rammstein? Or, I don't know. I don't speak German. Rammstein. Anyway, I heard they put on one of the greatest live shows ever. So, bought my ticket and went down to the Starplex Amphitheater in Dallas, Texas. I'm not even sure what that place is called now. It changes about every year. But back then it was called the Starplex. Who knows what it is now. But anyway, that was Rammstein. Fire, fire, and more fire, I have written. On June the 29th, 2017. I was there, and this is how it went down. And now I just comb my hair some more. Okay, how's your German? Better yet, how's your flame resistance bodysuit? Well, both could have come in handy when the German band Rammstein pyroed, if that's a word, into Dallas Thursday night. But before we get to that, I'll give out a big kudos to opening act Hell Yeah for a good old no-holds-bar pounding metal scream fest. Yes, it was good to finally see local North Texas metal royalty Vinnie Paul Abbott behind the drums on the stage after seeing him in the audience of other people's shows over all these years. Yeah. And of course, I didn't realize that this was going to be the last time to get such a chance. Good memory though, Vinny. Unlike the German metal band Scorpions, whose songs are sung in English, Rammstein has made a career of keeping everything in the language of the motherland. So, how does that go over in good old Texas? Well, just ask the 20,000 devoted fans that packed into the Starplex Amphitheater. Fans that range from gray-haired elderly women to little kids who looked like they were in kindergarten. Of course, the evening's wardrobe of choice was black. Wow, who would have thought? Now, as the temperature soared into the high 80s, I glanced at a couple of guys wearing black kilts, just wondering, would that be cooler? Of course, my mind was quickly turned to the multitude of women wearing fishnet stockings, which is not that rare of a sight at a metal concert. However, these women actually look good in them, which is indeed a rare sight at most metal shows. Or anywhere else for that matter. Now my fashion award goes to the kid decked out in leather with the spike collar, complete with a chain leash held ever so tightly by the leather-cladded chick next to him. I don't remember seeing anything like that at the Garth Brooks show. Barry Manilow? As giant numbers counted down the seconds to showtime, I decided to use the time to practice the little German I know. Or, thought I knew. Let's see. Guten Tag, Dankeschön. Dankeschön? Achtung! Okay. Maybe I could just remember those words from that 1983 pop song, 99 Luftballons. Hast du es anvermutzt? Guten lieben Gleitschung Globen. Alright, I've got something to say. Oh boy. Now as the stage exploded in lights, the band's dual axemen slowly descended down from the stage rafters on platforms as fog rolled out over the stage. Then frontman Till Lindemann, decked out in a white suit and top hat, danced out onto the stage. Tap dance, that is. With a bit of a smile, he tossed the top hat into the air. Well, the hat exploded, and the extravaganza had begun. Yeah. Now with a booming, low, growling voice that ranges somewhere between Phantom of the Opera and Sergeant Hans Schultz of the Hogan's Hero fame, I know nothing. Lindemann belted out the words to the song Ram 4, which gave everyone a chance to join in and scream out, Rammstein! Now with all 6 members of the band being East German born, well, before the wall came down, there was a certain Eastern European industrial Iron Curtain feel to the stage, along with a bit of inspiration from the last Mad Max movie, I'm guessing. Looking as if he had just soaked his head in a bucket of grease, Lindemann certainly made a haunting figure. And with muscle-bound arms that looked as though he could play middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, he gave the appearance of some Soviet bloc villain in a 1970s James Bond movie. You must die, Mr. Bond. But first, let's rock a bit! Watch out for the pyro, though. And of course, if Lindemann wasn't intimidating looking enough, there was always the 6'7" bassist lurking above on the riser, as if he were an executioner looking for his next victim. But then again, who needs an executioner when you have a non-stop supply of fire? Oh yes. At a Rammstein show, flames are abundant. Let's see. There were flames shooting out of the stage's ceiling, out of the stage's floor, to the stage left, to the stage right. And if that's not enough flames, Lindemann, along with the 2 guitarists, put on masks that shot out even more flames. And then there were flames shooting from the guitars. Yeah, you just can't have enough fire at a Rammstein show. But wait, If fire isn't your thing, how about fireworks? Yeah, they had that too. Why wait until July the 4th for fireworks? We even had fireworks shooting out into the crowd. Thanks, guys. Like we weren't hot enough. Now we got fireworks. Even though there was plenty of headbanging going on, whoa, there was also a touch of opera in the show as well. I was given the impression that our frontman might have spent a little time on the theater stage during his life, as well as some time in the psychiatric ward, maybe. However, it was the keyboard player Christian Lorenz that really provided the show's theatrics. This was proven when Lorenz went down on all fours as Lindemann led him around the stage with a leash. Okay, now there's something you'll never see at a Leonard Skinner show. Or maybe even a Slayer show for that matter. Maybe I remember that from the Jimmy Buffett show. Don't really recall. Now, as Lindemann growled at a few more songs in German, I almost expected to see him goose step across the stage. But that was never to be. The same could not be said about the fat redneck in the Black Sabbath t-shirt with the sleeves ripped out who was marching beside me. Tongue there, Bubba. Tongue. Now, I've seen plenty of pyro in concerts, but in most of the metal shows I've been to, the singer is screaming into octaves that screech way beyond the stratosphere, surpassed only by the constant squealing of guitar solos. Now, Lindemann may not have the squeals of a Robert Plant or a Sammy Hagar, but his commanding voice made you dare not complain for fear of being the target of the next pyro blast. And even though the guitar players got to bend the strings into a squealing solo on the song, and I can't pronounce it,
Zerstören.
that one, most of the guitar work was restricted to the underlying rumbling of riffs that kept the 20,000 in attendance banging their heads. Yeah. Then again, who needs squealing guitar solos when you have 30-foot flames shooting from the stage? Why become a guitar god when you can just blow more stuff up? Now, I was a little more than a bit interested to see how a crowd of Texans would react to a rock show done in 100% German. But at the capacity crowd sang along with the songs in somewhat perfect German with a bit of a Texan drawl, I felt as though I could have been in the middle of Berlin. Without all the fire, of course. Tongue there, sweetheart. Now that didn't sound Texan. After more steam, smoke, flames, fireworks, and rumbling guitar riffs, Lindemann growled out the fan favorite, America, which I actually knew the words. Well, kind of. Then he strapped on a pair of wings to sing the evening's final song. Angel or,
Engel.
And guess what? Flames shot out of the wings Who'd have thought? Then, as the band came to the front of the stage and knelt before the massive throng of Texas headbangers, I thought, finally, I'm going to get to hear some German I can actually understand. Dankeschön. Right? This was not to be, though, for the only English Linderman uttered the entire evening was, "Thank you for coming. It's damn hot in here." Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's summertime in Texas, and you brought along enough fire to an outdoor concert to melt the polar ice caps. What did you expect? Dankeschön, guys. Or let's see. Dankeschön?
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Okay, so that was the Rammstein show. Or Rammstein. I think it's Rammstein. I don't know. Pretty cool show. A regular blast. Several blasts, in fact, a lot of pyro blasting. If you ever get a chance to see Rammstein, however you want to pronounce it, go check them out. Hopefully, we can all go to concerts again someday. This is where I would usually say, see more shows. But now I'm just going to say, let's hope to see more shows. More shows, more shows, more shows, more shows.